Here, thank you so much for joining me again for another Wednesday Windup. We're going to make this one super quick, and I'm going to talk to you about how to get rid of a lot of room noise and make sure your recordings are, one, as quiet as possible, two, that they are, I guess the ambience is as quiet as possible, and two, to make sure your recordings are as clean as possible without much room tone. So we're going to be talking about gain and the input levels of your microphone. So this is going to be super quick. I am showing you this little interface right here. And as you can see, I am highlighted on my current microphone setup. And you see I've got a couple of faders right here. But I'm going to be adjusting everything with this knob right here. This is my input gain level. And there's two things that I want to make sure you are aware of. One, your room resonance. Now in my room, I've got a couple, you can't see them on the camera, but I do have some panels that are installed that are about 1.5 feet apart that are foam insulated panels. They're about 1.5 feet by about 48 inches. Some are 50 inches. And they help absorb some of the reverberations that are bouncing in the room. The other thing is my microphone. Now, my microphone is a dynamic, it's a condenser microphone, not a dynamic. It's a condenser microphone which picks up everything around the area. So even if I'm talking like off kilter, or if I talk way over here, it does get a little bit quiet, but as soon as I come back, it doesn't matter where I'm talking, you can still hear me pretty good. Now, a condenser or a dynamic microphone, will only be in this general area. It's only going to be the stuff that's immediately around it, depending on the volume level coming in. So what I'm going to show you is two tips, or actually one tip, I guess, to make sure that you are getting the best sound possible, even if you have a very live environment or a reverberating environment. So let me show you this. I'm going to turn up my volume and I'm going to be quiet. I'm not going to talk for a second, and you're going to hear the room tone or the things that are happening in this room. Okay. All right, so I'm going to back way up and I'm going to talk a little more quiet. You can even hear my chair squeak, and that's not a great thing to have in recording. So one, my microphone is very, very hot. It's very loud, and you can even hear some of the reverberations in the room in my voice when I'm talking. And that's not a super wonderful thing to have in your dialogue. So how do we combat that? Well, first of all, I'm going to turn my volume down to a normal level. And now I'm going to get right back up to my normal place. And you can hear immediately that volume, that noise floor, that reverb drop almost entirely. And so another thing that you can do is, if you have a condenser microphone, is to turn this down even more. So I'm right now at 28, 29. I'm going to go all the way down to about 26. And I'm going to get right up on the microphone. And now you can hear very clearly my voice. And by the time my voice gets to the microphone, it's actually taking a long time for the reverb to get all the way to the wall, to the side walls, to the ceiling, and to the back wall behind me, and allow me to talk at a relatively normal level. I don't have to get super loud. I don't have a lot of plosives, so we're good in that arena. So I hope you found this useful. Play around with your volume settings if you can, and make sure that you're not getting a whole lot of room reverberations and things like that. So for more tips and tricks, feel free to email me, Jonathan at AIN Colorado. If you have some questions, you can ask Alex or Lauren, Alex at aincolorado.org, Lauren at aincolorado.org. All right, guys, until next week, we'll see you later.